plaintiff, Raven Tillman, says she and the defendant used to be best friends until they had a falling out over a trip to Las Vegas. And the defendant started hooking up with Raven's ex-boyfriend. Raven's suing her former friend for the trip expenses. Defendant Jessica Peak says if Raven cared about her ex-boyfriend, she never would have met up with a random guy in Vegas whom she met on Tinder. Jessica denies owing Raven for anything.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
All right, start with you.
Okay, well, let me just start off by saying this is upsetting that we have to be here. The defendant used to be my best friend. Aside from the reason why we're here, she also decided to start hooking up with my ex-boyfriend, who she knew I had feelings for.
That's why you're suing her. I thought we were here because you want your money. You want your boyfriend. He only worth $700?
No.
You don't want him back if he's only worth $700?
Definitely not.
What you say was worth a dime? Yeah, at least 10 cents.
Yes.
50 cents.
Maybe.
50 cents.
Maybe.
What you think he's worth, ma'am? Ma'am?
I think he's worth zero.
He's worth zero to you too. Your boyfriend?
Yeah. He's not my boyfriend. I have never, nor have I ever wanted anything to do with him like that.
So that's not true, ma'am. You hear that? We got to iron this out first.
Your Honor,
before we get to this trip expenses, we got to.
So worried about her.
Go ahead.
Her boyfriend. Why did she meet a random guy on Tinder while we were there? While she was supposed to be on a vacation with someone who was supposed to be her so-called wannabe boyfriend.
Young lady, what you doing on Tinder?
Well, I mean, 26 and it was Vegas and he was paying for us to play on slots. So, I mean, what's wrong with that?
You have relationships with a man to get what they call?
No,
put in the
we were just talking.
Slot machine? Huh?
No, we were just talking and that was pretty much it. Like,
I thought Tinder you're trying to find some. I thought on Tinder you're trying to find somebody to have relations with.
Yeah, but that wasn't the point of that situation.
You was looking for somebody for the. They call that something too.
Yeah, the one-armed bandit.
Oh, I thought the iron somebody else.
Not me. No, but I've actually known the defendant since 2018.
Let's get back to her stealing your boyfriend. She says she didn't. She says he's worth zero. You say he's worth 50 cents.
Yeah.
What's the real amount? This is Price is Right. Stop looking so mad. See, at least Jessica's smiling. You're right, Jessica. You didn't want anything to do with him. She's hurt. She want him back. Get him back. See, look at her. Poor thing. You want him back? Want me to talk to him?
No. So again, I've known her since 2018. We were both pregnant at the same time. We started a friendship, grew close while we were pregnant. After we had our daughters, we were going on trips together and we were, like splitting it. I was doing most of the driving. I mean, like, our friendship worked out evenly all the time, so it never really made a big deal to me. We started talking at the beginning.
Yes, you may.
I believe that Raven is hurt from this whole situation. We got into arguments, for one, about her leaving with this guy on Tinder. Like, she's just going off with a random guy. Now she's claiming that she thinks I want Nick, which definitely don't. Like, I feel like she's just doing this to be all.
And then seems like she got a little irritated when I started to delve into that Nick stuff and have a little fun with it. She got a little irritated and gonna switch the subject. As I said, we've known each other. You the one brought that up. The first thing out your mouth, he stole my boyfriend. And then when I look into it and start talking about it and discussing it, all of a sudden you irritated and want to skip back. Like I said, we were talking about how long we would known each other. No, we weren't. We were talking about her stealing Nick. That's what you started out with. I didn't want to act like you weren't, let's get back on the subject. That was the subject. That was the only subject. Nick. Now you say you don't have Nick, right?
I definitely
You never had Nick, right?
never had
So
Nick.
she shouldn't be hurt about Nick, right?
Right.
Let's
And
get
if
to the
she
money.
is, I mean, I don't talk to Nick really anymore. Why isn't she talking to Nick and trying to contact him herself? I don't want anything to do with
That's the
anything.
last question on Nick. Why aren't you contacting him yourself?
Well, I've known him since middle school, and when me and Jessica got in a fight, he decided to take her side. So
Take her side or go with her as his girl? Or as
that
his
part
young
I
lady
don't know.
friend?
I mean, we weren't together.
If
so.
I may, Honor, Raven actually had control of our flight tickets while we were there, and she canceled our flight. So
Okay,
that's
let's
probably
get
the
to
reason
that, the
why-
tickets, because the trip expense, because you all are confused about Nick. You saying at one point he took her side. Before that, she took him, period. $700 trip expenses. How does she owe you for that? What happened? The agreement.
We went to a private show. We were spending a day at the spa. We had a cabana rental. I paid
Yeah,
for.
Your Honor, if I may,
Well, let her
that
finish.
cabana rent-
Go ahead.
I paid for 2 elaborate dinners, and then we went to In-N-Out, and I paid for that also.
All right. What was the agreement on it?
We agreed that she was going to pay me back. I mean, it was never something that I questioned or doubted that she would do.
Pay you back the entire amount that was spent?
Yes.
Why would she pay 100% and you pay 0% of it?
No. That was her half of.
Okay, so the
everything that I
total
paid.
amount was about $1,400 then.
Yes.
All right. And you assumed or she said she would?
On page 9, she stated that she would pay me back.
Oh, before. You must first have the agreement before the transaction occurred. You can't wait till after the transaction and then say, I think you owe me something. Now that I think about
and I
it.
understand that, but when we were discussing while we were doing these things, she did state that she was going to pay me back.
Half of all expenses?
Her half, yes.
Young lady, you tell me what the agreement was when you all were in Vegas accumulating the expenses of up to $1,400 or so. 14 it appears.
Honestly, there was no agreement. We were just doing things as we naturally wanted. Those are things that Raven wanted to do. She wanted to go to the male stripper show. She booked tickets to go there.
You on the wow!
List? Yes. She was really well.
Tender male strippers! You had a ball. Now you want to pass her to debt. Did you get some tender?
I was not using Tinder.
Oh, well, then how you gonna ask her to pay and she didn't even use Tinder? Her night wasn't big as yours. That's why she don't want to pay you. I don't blame you. She the one had the big night. Go ahead. But you went straight back to the room, didn't you? And read the Bible.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I never agreed to pay. Sorry, going back to what I was saying. I never agreed to pay Raven beforehand. It was once we got to the airport and she started threatening me that she was going to cancel my flight tickets, which she had information for if I did not pay her money for money that was spent while we were there. She also states in text message through, I think it's the second or third one I gave you, that she wasn't actually requesting money for the cabana and all of this because she knows this is stuff she wanted to do, but yet she's coming here today and saying that she's
She
doing
says that where, ma'am? Where does she say that?
On page 3 of the text messages.
Did you miss your flight? Blocking you everywhere. Bye. I'm suing you. I told you to pay me back and you declined. You've threatened to leave my things outside. I'm not texting you anymore. For canceling the tickets we paid for, you read the part where it refers to what you just stated. Read the portion that says you don't have to pay for the cabana or anything else that was what she wanted. You said you have that in the text on page 3, and I can't quite read it. It's very small print.
Okay. She said, I'm actually not making you pay for the cabana, but then she goes on to say that I stated I'd pay for half of that.
And that's on page 3?
It's on page 4, sorry.
Oh, no wonder it got to do with me being able to read it.
Oh, sorry.
Small print has
my first
not on there. All right. You asked me to use what I owe you to pay for him. Y'all talking about Nick again. Y'all talking about, and I'm actually not making you pay for the cabana, but you stated you pay half for that. Did you?
I did not make any agreement before she spent money. Those are things she wanted. She rented this cabana and we didn't even use it. I never used it. We were in the pool for an hour and a half and she rented. How much was that cabana? Like, she's always got to want these big, fancy things. I didn't want that. Why would I pay for that? I would have never used that cabana. And then now she's trying to sue me for use of the cabana. If I didn't use that, why would I pay for that?
Young lady, you do say on here that you're not making her pay for the cabana, but today you list that as part of your lawsuit.
Well, because she stated that she would pay her half.
When did she tell you? Show me where it says she'll pay half.
It doesn't say
okay.
half.
And did you agree to pay her anything?
I didn't before anything, but after she was pressuring me and all this, she called me and she was like, you need to go get this money now and you need to bring it to me or I'm canceling your flight.
You got to the airport and say, I ain't giving you no ticket until you pay me that money. Is that how that went?
No, sir, it's not.
How?
They paid their tickets before. We all paid it together using my credit card.
So anyone have any evidence where she said she would not pay or she would cancel your flight unless you paid? Do you have that? Because you're the one that keeps saying that, ma'am, Jessica.
Page 3 states, I told you to pay me back. You declined. You've threatened to leave my things outside. I'm not texting you anymore. I said, for canceling tickets we paid for or trying to, and talking about my parenting too. I didn't cancel. Yeah, they told us, the guy at the gate had told me that she had canceled the tickets, but they were non-refundable. So she wasn't getting the money back for them anyways. And I showed him our text messages saying
so how did you get back if she canceled them?
I pleaded with the guy and showed him our text messages at the gate that we had already paid for these tickets.
Do you have any evidence of this begging? He risked his job. He risked his job because a stranger begged him enough. So it wasn't extortion because you got your tickets after all. So it wasn't extortion by her because the man gave in.
She did try to cancel it and it was in her name, but if I paid for a ticket and I showed the guy.
If you had the ticket and you used the ticket. So I don't know why you're making reference to this as a reason or being relevant to the debt that you owe.
She told me that she was going to cancel her flight or my flight.
She didn't do any of that. She didn't do any of that.
And she did do that.
She didn't do any of that.
And she knows that she said that. So the fact that she would sit here and lie, whatever. If she wants to lie and be whatever, she knows she tried to cancel that flight ticket.
Okay, but she didn't, so that's irrelevant. She did not cancel it, so it's irrelevant. If you all are discussing and she says, I'm going to hit you in the eye next week, you think you can go to the police and say, she said she's going to hit me in the eye on Monday? Monday passed, she doesn't do it.
Being vindictive and claiming and going around claiming she did something she didn't do. She spent money. She's upset she spent money. And because she got upset and vindictive, She wanted to use that against me, just like she got vindictive when Nick wasn't doing what
Therefore,
she
you're
wanted.
not going to pay her. And I'm going to conclude that out of fairness you are, and now I do believe her based on the testimony you're giving. And $707 is your judgment, minus $236 that you said you would deduct for the cabana. How much is that?
$471.
$471 is your judgment. Have a good day.
I don't think it's fair that I have to pay for anything that someone lied this whole situation through, but that's on her, and she can be happy with that decision. I'm just glad that it's over.
I don't have anything to say.